Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, opening your banking app,
and seeing exactly $1 million sitting in your account.
What is your very first instinct? Is it to rush to the dealership and upgrade to that luxury SUV you've been eyeing? Start browsing real estate in a high-end zip code?
Or finally swipe your card for that designer watch?
To prove to your old classmates that you've made it? If you're thinking yes to any of these, that is a massive red flag. There is an uncomfortable but very real rule in the financial world.
The single dumbest thing you can do when you make your first million is to start looking like a millionaire.
Today, we are going to brutally break down why looking poor is the ultimate financial defense system,
and why performing wealth for an audience
is the absolute fastest way to destroy it. 1 million is an incredibly awkward number in today's society.
It's just enough to awaken every consumer desire you've ever had,
but nowhere near enough to actually bump you up a social class. People mistakenly treat 1 million as the finish line, but in reality, it is just a newly built, revved-up compounding machine.
At this stage, every single dollar you spend on keeping up appearances
is actively destroying the engine of that machine. We have to talk about the famous Diderot effect in behavioral psychology. Consumption is never isolated, it is a catastrophic chain reaction.
To match the $10,000 Rolex, your 5-year-old Honda suddenly feels embarrassing.
To match your new luxury car, your usual takeout spots feel too cheap,
and you start frequenting overpriced fine dining restaurants.
A seemingly innocent treat-yourself moment acts like a virus, eventually eating through your entire financial defense line. Let's do some hardcore math.
You think putting a $50,000 down payment on a luxury car
means you just lost 50 grand? In the eyes of a value investor,
if you left that $50,000 in a broad index fund returning 7% annually, in 30 years, it would snowball into $380,000.
The true price of a luxury car isn't the sticker on the window. It's the 10-year financial servitude contract
you just signed for your future self. People who successfully navigate economic cycles and protect their wealth
never rely on fragile willpower.
They operate on a completely different psychological operating system.
Here are the 10 looking broke mindsets of the stealth wealthy. Mindset 1: the ultimate social filter.
Wearing flashy jewelry is like turning on a spotlight in the dark. It attracts all the wrong moths.
When you drive a Porsche to a reunion, you think they're toasting to you, but they are actually toasting to the resources you might offer them.
If you go bankrupt, these fair-weather friends are the first to run.
Estimated financial loss: $5,000 to $20,000 a year.
Wasted on pointless social tabs, unpaid loans to fake friends, and terrible networking deals.
Looking ordinary is the ultimate human filter. Show up in a basic t-shirt and drive a normal commuter car. If someone still wants to connect, they value your mind, your humor, and your character.
Stripping away the material facade leaves you with relationships that actually survive the test of time.
Mindset 2: the art of expectation management.
Flashing wealth automatically raises everyone's financial expectations of you.
Drop a massive red envelope in the family group chat,
and you'll be the first person they call for a house down payment. Say no, and you're labeled a cheap rich guy, trapping you in moral blackmail.
Estimated financial loss: $10,000 to $50,000.
Family loans that turn into bad debt, plus the cost of ruined relationships.
Deliberately lowering external financial expectations is the smart play. Complain a little about the tough economy or industry layoffs at family gatherings.
When you look like just another guy grinding for a paycheck, no one asks the dude in the 10-year-old car for a massive loan.
You save your money and avoid massive social exhaustion. Mindset 3: leveraging the underdog advantage.
Many people love to armor up in designer brands for business negotiations or dates. But doing that is like taping your poker hand to your forehead. The other side instantly sees your vanity and desperation,
making it easy to play you on price or terms.
Estimated financial loss $10,000 to $100,000 plus per deal.
Showing your desperate need for validation gets you brutally lowballed.
In major asset deals or business negotiations,
smart people leverage the underdog advantage. Show up to a big meeting dressed neatly but unbranded.
When they let their guard down thinking you're a small player,
you casually drop deep industry insights and proof of massive cash flow. This contrast shatters their psychological defenses
and gives you absolute control of the negotiation table.
Mindset 4: the practice of ego detachment.
Tying your self-worth to consumer goods
is like outsourcing your soul to a luxury conglomerate. You swipe your card for an overpriced jacket you'll wear once, just because the sales rep said you look so classy in this.
Your ego becomes a fragile vase that needs constant, expensive repairs.
Estimated financial loss $10,000 to $30,000 a year. Impulse buys driven by vanity, hoarding rapidly depreciating luxury items you rarely use. Decouple your net worth from your self-worth.
Walk into a high-end mall on the weekend in sneakers and cheap shorts.
When the sales staff give you that judgmental up and down look, you feel zero emotion, maybe even a little amusement. Because you know your confidence comes from the 8-figure balance in your bank account, not a stranger's gaze. Mindset 5: building the FU confidence. High-earning, paycheck-to-paycheck workers are just hamsters running on gold-plated wheels. To keep up the massive payments on the downtown penthouse and the luxury car,
they have to swallow toxic management and abusive clients. If the paycheck stops, their financial chain snaps next month. Estimated financial loss $20,000 to $50,000 a year in hidden costs. Forced to accept underpaid roles, missing out on high-reward jumps, plus medical bills from chronic stress.
Use extreme minimalism to build your FU money. When the boss is screaming in a toxic meeting and everyone else is terrified, you stay perfectly calm. Because you're running the math in your head. Even if they fire you today, the compound interest on your accounts
means you could chill for a decade without dropping your living standards.
You cannot buy that level of peace with a designer bag. Mindset 6: immunity to the matrix. Modern marketing is a carefully engineered matrix.
It brainwashes you. No diamond means no true love.
Not buying this car means you don't care about your family's safety.
Buy into it, and you'll endlessly drain yourself paying this middle-class insecurity tax.
Estimated financial loss $5,000 to $15,000 a year.
Buying marked-up influencer collaborations, stupidity tax gear, and fake lifestyle upgrades.
See through the rules and only pay for core utility,
while others spend thousands on a trendy camping tent just for a photo before it collects dust in the garage.
You rent top-tier gear for a few bucks, enjoy nature, and return it. You are buying the actual experience, not the overpriced ownership or the class label. Mindset 7: activating the envy shield. Showing off your wealth is like grilling a steak in a forest full of starving wolves. Flexing on social media breeds instant resentment. The friendly neighbor or coworker might start sabotaging you just because you pulled up in a Porsche yesterday. Or worse, you attract targeted scams and physical danger. Estimated financial loss $50,000 to infinity. Ranging from getting your car keyed and workplace sabotage to being targeted by sophisticated investment scams or Ponzi schemes. Stealth is your ultimate physical defense. Ride a scooter or drive a basic commuter car to the grocery store and comfortably haggle over a few cents with the vendors. You blend into the crowd like a drop of water in the ocean. No one knows you just dodged a market crash and made 6 figures. Quiet wealth buys absolute safety. Mindset 8: building the anti-fragile anchor. Living at the absolute peak of your spending power is like walking a tightrope with zero margin for error. When a recession hits or massive layoffs occur, these fake rich individuals instantly plummet. To maintain the illusion, they resort to predatory loans, leading to foreclosures and total financial collapse. Estimated financial loss $100,000 to $300,000.
default penalties on houses/cars, toxic debt traps, and massive losses from liquidated assets.
Keep your daily operating costs ruthlessly low. Let's say you make $10,000 a month.
But you lock your baseline spending at $2,000.
Cook at home, skip the overpriced coffee.
When the industry winter hits and your coworkers are losing sleep over their mortgages,
your quality of life takes 0 hits. That is your financial bulletproof vest. Mindset 9: Becoming the time sovereign.
Many executives are cursed by the money machine. The more they make, the more luxury they must buy. The more luxury they buy, the more overtime they must work to pay the credit cards.
They are trading their irreplaceable lifespan
for mass-produced, rapidly depreciating junk. Estimated financial loss, $150,000 to $500,000, wasting principal that could have generated massive compound interest on depreciating heavy luxuries like watches and boats, losing decades of passive income.
Buy back the control of your life. The ultimate flex isn't a Patek Philippe on your wrist. It's turning off your phone at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday
and sitting in a corner cafe with 0 guilt.
By resisting the urge to buy that watch,
you just bought yourself an entire year of uninterrupted free time.
You become the master of your time, not the slave of your job. Mindset 10: The secret game thrill. People obsessed with flexing live entirely in the gaze of others. Today it's whose bag is more expensive. Tomorrow it's whose resort is more exclusive.
This zero-sum game has no finish line. It just leaves you exhausted and dangerously over-leveraged. Estimated financial loss, $50,000 to $200,000, years of pointless status vacations, check-in fees, and reckless leveraged investments driven purely by vanity.
Treat life like a secret, invisible game.
At a reunion, when a former rival is sweating through their designer shirt,
bragging about their new project, you just smile and nod. You have nothing to prove.
Your dopamine hit comes from knowing that in this entire room, you are the only one who has officially quit the rat race and secured absolute freedom. Total estimated hidden and direct losses, $410,000 to $1,315,000 plus, or limitless. Stack up the costs of these 10 leaks, and the conclusion is terrifying.
Intuitively, $1 million sounds like an unshakable fortress. A guaranteed ticket to the upper class and immunity from risk.
But once you fall into the trap of performing wealth,
you realize how breathtakingly fragile that money actually is. If you haven't built a cold, calculating psychological defense system, that massive million might not even last a year. It gets silently bled dry the second you sign that luxury car lease. Through endless vanity markups, paying for pointless social events, and bailing out so-called friends. But what's scarier than going back to zero is the debt backlash of falling from wealth. Once you get addicted to being looked up to, and your baseline lifestyle is artificially inflated, what happens when that million dries up? Your brain's defense mechanism crashes. To maintain the beautiful facade, you start maxing out credit cards and taking predatory loans, desperately trying to use new debt to plug the old holes. Ultimately, the $1 million that could have bought your absolute freedom didn't make you a rich person.
It personally handed you a heavier set of financial chains.
This is the coldest, most chilling truth about money. Making your first million only proves you have the skill or luck to capture wealth. But surviving the meat grinder of modern consumerism?
That is the ultimate test of how well you understand human nature.
Many people grind for money to prove to the world that they won. But the genuinely rich understand this. The ultimate goal of wealth isn't to prove you won the game.
It's to secure the ability to stop playing it altogether.
It's not that they don't have desires.
They just spend their money on the highest dimensional luxury item of all, optionality.
When you stop proving yourself to the outside world, that is when you truly possess wealth. Stealth wealth is not about being cheap. It is an incredibly advanced, highly rational self-defense mechanism. So, the next time you face the temptation of a lifestyle upgrade, remember, you don't need to upgrade your ride. You need to upgrade your moat. Don't trade your future freedom for a performance nobody actually cares about.